Okay, you guys, last week I posted in my Facebook group about the experiment that I was doing with spray starches. So I wanted to show you my results. Taking a picture was not going to show it to you, so I decided to do a quick video. I really like to starch my fabrics for any in the hoop projects that I'm working on. And I was looking for a starch that was non-aerosol. I don't like the chemicals that come in an aerosol can to make it spray out like it does. I also was looking for a minimum of chemicals and fragrances. I'm sort of a natural, no chemical girl, and I've been experimenting with homemade things in my kitchen as far as food goes for a while now. So it's kind of natural that I might migrate to this. So thanks to whoever suggested homemade starch in my group last week. I hadn't even thought of that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway, I needed something that would make the fabric really stiff, but I'm not really a fan of Terrio Magic. You have to kind of wait for it to dry, and I don't have that much patience. So I always would try to iron it, and it flakes a lot when you try to iron it dry. So I ordered a few different starches online and found that most of them had really strong fragrances, and some had chemicals I would rather not be heating and have the mist kind of come up in my face so I can breathe out while I'm ironing. So here I am with my Starch Experiment, and I'm going to show you the two recipes that I tried against the one spray starch that I found online that met one of my requirements. It's non-aerosol. The other requirement that it met was it made the fabric really, really stiff. I'm not a fan of the smell of it, but it does do what I wanted it to do. So let's start with the recipe. The cornstarch recipe, I used 2 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I mixed the tablespoon of cornstarch in a half a cup of that cold water. It just mixes easier and no clumps. I brought the other 1.5 cups of water to a boil. Then I added the half a cup that I'd already mixed with the cornstarch to it, mixed it real good, stirred it up, and then just turned the fire off and let it cool. Then I added it to a glass bottle. The vodka mixture was really easy. I just went to the grocery store, bought a really inexpensive bottle of vodka. I don't even think it was $7, less than $7 if I remember right. And you only need 1/3 cup of vodka and 2/3 cup of water to make a whole cup of it. Really easy. You just mix it and put it in a spray bottle. So that is definitely the cheapest version of homemade spray starch. So here are the results. This, on this side, is what the vodka mixture did. It definitely made it nice, took out all the wrinkles really fast. It sprayed on easy because it's very watery-like, but it didn't make it stiff. And all of these samples or two passes. I starched it, ironed it, starched it, ironed it, or sprayed it, ironed it, sprayed it, ironed it on all 3 of them. And it definitely didn't make it stiff, but it is nice and pretty. This would be perfect for clothing. I think any type of apparel, or if you just want a nice, pretty ironed piece of fabric. Not quite what I was looking for, but definitely a nice, clean, no chemical starch. This is the heavy starch that I made with the cornstarch recipe that I showed you, that I let cool and then put in this bottle. I shook it up a little bit, although I don't think it needs it. It's kind of a thick mixture, and it stayed that whitish color like cornstarch. So I don't know if I would use it on really dark fabrics, but it worked fine on this red one. I did get a tiny bit of flaking, but not nearly as much as the Terrio Magic did, and it did make it stiff. I mean, this is nice and stiff, and this is 2 also. It's I sprayed it, ironed it, sprayed it, ironed it. It definitely made it nice and stiff. This is the one that I found online that's non-aerosol and did make the fabric really stiff. It's a Faultless Max Professional Strength Starch. I'm not a fan of the smell of it. Like I said, I don't like the chemical aspect of it, but it works really, really well. This made things almost, it is definitely stiffer than the cornstarch one. So if you don't mind the smell or the chemicals, it does come in non-aerosol, so that's good. But these two are so close in feeling. This one, I can feel it's a little bit stiffer, but I will probably stick with the cornstarch version after I run out of this, because I bought quite a few bottles of it to test. But these two work the best if you're looking for something really stiff and you don't want to wait for the other stuff that's sold to make fabric stiff dry before you can iron it. Or I'm not a patient person. When I get a project in my mind, I'm all excited about it and I just want to go do it. I don't want to wait for anything to dry. So these two are the winners for what I was looking for, either one of those. And like I said, since I like chemical-free stuff, I will probably stick with the cornstarch version. This was perfect for ironing clothes. No smell, and it left it really pretty, wrinkle-free, took the wrinkles out really easily. Okay, there are the results of my experiment. Have a great day, guys. Bye.